Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show.
Yo, hopefully this sounds all right. I'm in my car. I just drove for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Made a little pit stop to the store, got some fruit and milk and some brownies. So I just pulled in, but today was a day, dude. Today was for me mentally just not. I walked into Smith's and I had this desire, because I walked into just somewhere that wasn't my house and I just saw all the produce. And I was like, damn, I want to go stack some apples and load the produce up and make it look like, that's how I really had a desire. I'm like, damn, that'd be so sick right now. And that's just how today went, dude. I was just doing some very, very tedious, same old bullshit with Notion and PT Dom stuff. And that's all I did today. I got a good amount of time. I got about 8 hours worth, thank goodness. So there's some money. So that'd be 31 times 8. So 248, I guess, was made today, which is cool. I'd like to think that I could, escape this shit and just start selling what I'm making in full. And phone's about to die, dude. 2%. Good thing we got a charger in the car. Ha. Thought you were going to die on me mid-show, bitch. Well, I don't know if it's recording from the car or from my phone, so hopefully my phone being down here is not a problem. Well, let's see. If I put it down here versus my mouth is right here. Yeah. Okay, it looks like it's recording through my car, not my phone, so that's cool. Anyway, let me turn off the AC, dude. What the hell's going on here? Freezing in here. Okay, I just up the heat. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I think what I might tell Britzy is, hey, I had some second thoughts about going again with PT Dom, whatever. This is going to be my last month. I'll just, I would have to clear $1,000, which I probably will, to not be negative, to have to pay them, because they said I'm going to have to pay for October as well, for the 500 for the CLA. So, that's this month that I'm starting negative 500, and then October that I'm starting negative 500, which doesn't make sense to me because my first month was October. So I'm gonna ask him about that. I don't know how they calculated that. But yeah, I guess just planning for the worst. So I think I might tell them that, just so that because I'm not really budgeting. Oh, there goes the lights. Lights are turning off in my garage. Almost in pitch black. But I haven't really included any kind of PT Dom stuff. Like, it's zero in there. And it's just, when it comes in, it's extra. And it's great. But currently, living life, budgeting without any penny coming from PT Dom. So, on paper and in the finances, what am I ingesting right now? Got a weird whiff of some shit. My car, so maybe this is stupid, but it makes sense to me that it wouldn't be a problem, but there's no emissions or fumes or shit that come from my car. But I'm in my garage, and technically my car is on, the garage is shut. I don't think that there's a problem, because the car there's no fumes. The paranoia in me says we better oughta just go inside. Probably just good practice. Anyway, so let's just keep it going. It's probably going to disconnect if I had to guess. Let's see if it does. So I am talking. Connecting to my car.
All right. I just listened to that. Audio wasn't the greatest. It's going to be loud and obnoxious for a sec. All right. So, yeah, I don't know if I don't think there's any problem. I think I just smelled something and got paranoid. But whatever, dude. So, just get my ass inside. I guess left the lights on in my house for right on. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so on paper, you know, I don't make money from PT Dom, but I sure as shit put in on paper 80 hours a month. So I think I ought to just peace out from them, let them know now, you know, give them a full month's notice, let them do their thing, because I have no ill feelings. I guess I left the light on upstairs too. Dude, I suck. I've never done this before. Yeah, I mean, they've been fine. You know, I had some hiccups or whatever with Brian, just spent so much time building some shit, and then it's just ass, and then, all right, he thinks it's ass, too complex or whatever. I mean, hell, even with Notion, you know, I'm building some stuff, and they're just like, oh, you know, let me make it more simple. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Just have lists. Sorry, I'm just going to load this up in the fridge, and then the loud noises will stop. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's a great help for sure, you know, being tied to all these high-end coaches, which are exactly my target audience. But if I'm being all devious here, I have every single one of them, and I have every single one of their emails. I could follow all of them on Instagram, could space it out a little bit here and there. And then I would still have the leads, and I would know that just by who I'm following, I would know that that's, I guess, like the pool of clients that I would try to go after. And if I get in trouble for it, then I get in trouble for it. You know, I just, if they are like, hey, you can't do that, I would say, oh, okay. And that would be it. So yeah, it is a good pool of people, like I was saying, but I do have connections with Mina, Dawson, and Trey. Dawson is, you know, one-on-one with Brian and Cole. Mina is killing it, so I'm sure that he'll be in the VIP or whatever soon. Maybe he already is, I'm not sure. And then Trey, I think he's quiet in the mastermind, if I had to guess. You know, it's always Dawson and Mina talking about me, never Trey. So maybe Trey just thinks I'm dog shit. I don't know. Either way, I do have those connections. And truthfully speaking, I just want to get in there. You know, I want to just get back to posting on social media again and actually DMing people, because it's exciting for me to think that I would be doing that, but for a product that I wholeheartedly believe in, something that I'm obsessed with, something that I know could help businesses out. And I would be I'd be doing that for, like, the only world that I know is fitness coaching as far as business goes. That's the only world that I know. So when it comes to DMing people, it's just like, hey man, how you doing? You struggling to get your fucking fat ass in shape? Got a solution for you. It's not going to be that anymore. She's like, hey man, I see you have this many followers. You know, I'm not a business coach. I just help with back end metrics, blah, blah, blah. And that already, to me, sounds so much better than, you know, opening it up with some kind of fitness bullshit. And now that I'm so deep with all this systems shit and Notion and automations, and I've learned so much, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if I, you know, could create my own kind of system or automation or something like that logs leads and all this shit when I follow up with them, or when, you know, like my own system for, you know, I'm building all this shit for fitness coaches. Like I'm going to have to make my own thing for business metric, I don't know, services. And that would be for me, you know. And there was an episode where, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 or 50 ago, where I said I started messaging people. I messaged 11 people. I was organizing them by a hub, meaning they are a group, or they are a page that definitely has a lot of coaches that follow it. And then single, which would be, just normal coaches that are just one-page accounts, whatever. I think I messaged 10 or 11. I got one response, and the guy says, hey, man, I already have a business coach, and I'm good. And I said, oh, dude, no worries. I'm not a business coach. I'm a nerd with numbers, and I just help, whatever. And then he said something like, oh, my systems are already great, or something like that. And that actually, I was thinking about that the other day, a little side note. It seems like it's always the smallest fish thinking they have everything figured out. But then the big fish in MDM, it's like all they do is ask questions. It's just so interesting, you know? And I'm definitely, you could say I'm definitely part of that small fish. Like, I think I got it all figured out. I'm cool. I don't need any help, you know? You could say that I'm part of that. And to that I say I don't give a fuck. But it is just an interesting observation to make. And it's honestly kind of unfair. I kind of am basing that off of one person. But it's just interesting, you know? It's like whatever, it's fine. But I did that once, and I was actually pumped about it because I had a whole system in place. I was finding a coach, I'd message them, and then I'd track it, you know, get their URL, the username, all that stuff, because Notion formulas do all that for me, you know. And so, yeah, it was very, very cool. I thought it was badass. It makes me wonder what kind of automations that I can run with matter of fact, I kind of want to check right now. So I'm downstairs in my kitchen. Okay, so fucking voice memos just did the horse shit where it just stopped recording, and I was talking for probably 3 minutes. But I went and looked at the triggers for Instagram, and they are watch events, watch media, and watch public user media. So that means I can watch a post, a comment, a mention, etc. I can do something when I post something, and I can do something when somebody else posts something. Those are the triggers. For the actions, which means like if I do something on any other app, what I can do for Instagram as an action is I can create a photo. I can upload a new reel. I can post a carousel. I can add a comment under a post. Interesting. I can create a reply to a comment. I can save a media. Can get details of a post. I can retrieve analytics for a post, fetch business user profile data. I don't know if this is super useful. Maybe I'm very ignorant to this, but I was hoping for, when somebody messages me, it logs their info or something like that. I don't think it works though. Let's see. Is there anything I can do as far as DMs and follows go? No, make their comments Instagram for business, blah, blah, blah. Not accessible at all. Also blocked. The API doesn't allow automating follows or compliance reasons. Is there anything for me following someone and then it automating their account info into a spreadsheet? That would be badass. Let's see, it's thinking longer for a better answer. I guess I need to put the milk in the fridge too, huh? Not just the fruit. Nope, doesn't fit. Sweet. Dude, just give me an answer. Clarifying Instagram API limitations. Okay. Still waiting. By the way, today is September 7th, 2025, 9:27 p.m. Short answer, no. No need to follow auto log trigger. What I can do instead. I must have told ChatGPT to speak in the first person sometime because that's what it does. It says, what I can do instead, as if it's serving me, bro. Fuck off. Share profile to webhook from iOS share sheet. Webhook receives username. Make get public user info. Yeah, fuck all that, dude. Dude, the workarounds you gotta do for some of this shit, you know? Anyway, either way, I am looking forward to it. I'm truthfully looking forward to finishing building everything, and it's not going to be for a while, for sure. But I'm looking forward to finishing things, and then I don't really have to build much. It just becomes selling. And I'm just excited for that portion of all of this. I just got to get there. You know what? This might just be a research episode. Let's see. In Make, if I have 2 Notion workspaces with the same exact databases with the same exact names, when I duplicate a scenario in Make, will I be okay to just change the Notion integration and then the entire scenario will remain the same? So I won't have to manually recreate every single one. This is going to be a make or break answer. I better just get no, you don't have to. It says, yes, you'll be fine. Here's why. Each Notion, blah, blah, blah. So here's the gotchas. If a database property is missing or slightly renamed in workspace and the other workspace, those modules will throw errors until corrected. Database internal IDs differ per workspace, but Make resolves this automatically when you reselect under new connection. Okay, so that's good. If that would have said, no, you're going to have to do it manually, that would have shit all over my face. That's what that would have done. And the reason why that's a problem is because I think I talked about this maybe, I don't know, I talked about this in the past. I guess no shit. We didn't talk about it in the future. But I'm going to have, 20 automations that are running per day. And then once a week, it's going to be 20 more on top, so like every Sunday, there's going to be 40. But I was thinking about bi-weekly metrics, I don't know. It's just entertaining the idea of daily, weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly, depending on what somebody wants. If they wanted daily, the higher price. If they wanted monthly, it's the lowest price. It's the least amount of automations. And automations cost me money. Now, not a lot of money, but I guess enough for me to warrant charging more. And it's also just an easier way to mark it up, because it's like, would you rather get 12 data points a year or 365 data points a year? Like, it's a good selling point. But anyway, on every, once a week, it's going to be double. And then once a month, it's going to be quadruple, I guess. Right? No, I guess it would just be triple, because you'd get the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. So that's 3. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of automations rolling. And I would hate if I had to go and remake every single one so that it's for the new Notion workspace. So if I sign Bob and I set him up, and then John signs, I don't have to then recreate everything for John, because it's going to be a whole new Notion workspace. There's a whole different integration token. There's a whole different connection that would suck. So the fact that I don't have to do that, according to ChatGPT today, that's cool. If I do have to do it, 1,000 million % hiring somebody to help me out with that. So I was thinking about that. I think I'm going to definitely sell people first by myself to get a feel for what the hell I'm even doing, because I don't want to just hire somebody and be like, hey, this is what you got to do, and then not even really know how it goes. So I want to do it myself, see if it's manageable by myself, because obviously if I could do it myself, I'm going to. The only problem is that getting somebody set up is tedious as fuck, because what I'm going to have to do is grab their spreadsheets, get all their client info. If it's organized, it's great. If it's not, which it never is, then fuck me. Then I have to get all their info from the spreadsheet, maybe from Everfit or Trainerize or whatever they use, put all the info into Notion one by one, because there's no way to automate that shit. Then put it all into Notion, then link it all up, and then go into Make, set up all the connections, the integrations, or whatever you want to call them. And maybe I ought to consider timing things ever so slightly differently. That was a sentence, huh? So that if I have 20 clients, I don't have 20 times 20 automations running at the same exact time. Maybe it's better to have something start at 9:50 and then 9:52 and then 9:54 and then maybe that doesn't matter at all, but maybe it's just better to play it safe, Like the first client that I get, they're going to be at 11, and the next one's going to be at 11:05, and the next one's going to be 11, just to keep things, I don't know. Or maybe I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, then I have to go into Make, then I have to make sure all the integrations are working, and it's all the right Notion workspaces. I'm going to have to test them just to make sure, and that's quite a process. Because, just fuck me, dude. I just don't want to have to do that every single time. But the thought of doing that every single time, I just don't want to hate my life, dude. I don't want to have to do that, because once I'm done building all this shit and then I go into, the sales phase of all this, I need to, how I then survive is selling, not setting shit up. So I think if I can just do it a couple times myself, record some SOPs on it, hire somebody, show them how to do it, and then, if they work 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, ideally, they get a client or two done per week. And as long as I can keep that promise, then we got a bottleneck of 8 clients a month, which if I'm getting 8 clients a month, that's we'll be all right. So yeah, I'm just thinking about long term how much of a pain in my ass it's going to be to set somebody up, unless I can figure something out. I'm not sure. Maybe there's some kind of, I don't know. I wonder if there's some kind of shit that I could code myself, with AI, hook it up to Everfit or Trainerize and grab all the info, the click of a button, I don't know if is that legal? I don't know. Just some private thing that just extracts info. Let's see, how would I do that? How would I go about making a simple software using AI that looks at websites that don't have public API access and scrapes the data from them? These websites are membership sites, and I just want to collect data that's already accessible to me, but faster. Let's see what it says. Thinking longer for a better answer. Oh, yes, I can build this safely with login automation plus AI extraction without touching restricted endpoints. Define targets, field update cadence, use Playwright to log in, crawl permitted pages after login, extract the Okay, there's a whole bunch of gibberish to me. Give me a whole long thing of code. Wow, it is giving me a full-blown thing here. I'm not reading this whole thing here. Minimal working example Python and Playwright. I don't know what the fuck Playwright is. I think it's a coding platform. Okay, I want me to... Headless browser replicates my normal authorized session, which is materially different from hitting blocked endpoints. Van Buren narrow... So I can use something like this on Everfit on my Everfit account with gathering all names, emails, birthdays, phone numbers, profile links, group chat links, etc. I didn't write etc. I wrote 3-5 comma. And if anybody knows that that's the same thing, I'm being dead serious, that would be crazy. I used to type in code that way with one of my friends way back in high school. If you, on an iOS keyboard, if you flip to the numbers, you can just type from memory any kind of text that you want, And then because you can look at where the keys would be, like, so for example, QWERTY, QWERTY, is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I say shit, that would be equivalent to /86. I used to talk in code like that with my friends. It's pretty funny. So anyway, 35 comma is etc. So yes, with Everfit, I'd use official API, not scraping. What I'd pull: names, emails via client, need to fill endpoint, form group. Okay, well, or I could just have a VA handle this shit. That's what they want to do. They posted on public internet that they will do a job that is this for money. So, and if they're cool with it, then hell yeah, I'll let them do it. So I did have this thought though, when a client signs up with a coaching program, they are probably made aware of the fact that they are, sending progress photos, and that those progress photos are available to the coach only. I don't want to violate anybody's rights or trust or privacy if I have one of my teammates go into their Everfit or Trainerize or whatever and see, well, not that they would seek it out, but they would be able to access progress photos, which some people are very private about them. Some people are, some people are weird about it. I myself couldn't give $2, but for somebody who might be embarrassed or whatever, and if they found out somehow, I'm sure that wouldn't look good on the fitness coach. But also, I guess that would fall back on them, not me, because they told the client that wouldn't happen. And I said, hey, make sure they know. I don't know. So yeah, if I just hired somebody to handle all that shit, then we'd be good. And then all the make and notion shit. Well, here's the thing. So I was making the CLA dashboard for PT Dom today. That's how I spent the whole day. I didn't even talk about that. I did a whole bunch of tedious, monotonous shit all day with filters and Notion and just copying and duplicating. I didn't build anything. I just changed parameters of shit. That's all I did today, all day. And I finished it. But as I was, finishing it up and making things and, making it look nice, it just was so nice, dude. Just all the different buttons, all the different pages. It's very evident what everything does. There's instructions everywhere. There's videos everywhere. It just looks good. It's clean. It makes sense. I think it's great. And I just can't wait to get to that point. I'm close. I'm closer. There's a few big projects still remaining, but it seems like the more that I kind of do stuff here, do stuff there, the more that I learn of what I need to do and what's possible. And yeah, I don't know where I'm at progress-wise, percentage, timeline. I don't know. I'm definitely closer. Because if I think about it, I've got a handful of things that are done that I can just quickly polish off, make nice, add some graphs, add some chart, whatever. And there's some other things that I can, I don't even know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just know I'm much closer, and things are coming together very nicely. Shitty thing though is, we've got Dawson asking for specific metrics and automations and shit. Mina wants the financial thing done. Trey hasn't really requested anything. I just told him I'm working on stuff. And I need to deliver that shit to him. But I think we're drifting out of that, I'm working on the same thing for everybody phase and going back to everybody kind of wants their own thing again, unfortunately. And the shitty thing about that is that I've said this so many times, but if I build something fresh and give it to them fresh and I don't have to link anything up, it takes 5 minutes. If I build something for them and then they want more stuff added to it after I've already built it and they start using it, it is just a ginormous pain in my asshole and takes way too long to then relink, connect everything, build everything. The reason for that is because if I build something and then I give it to them, but it has different relations and roll-ups and stuff to other property or other databases inside their Notion, I have to first go through the hassle of unlinking it from my shit, duplicating it, and moving it into their workspace, which is just a pain in the ass. And then once it's in there, I then have to link it to the correct database and then go into the other databases that are already in there, create the necessary properties in those ones, the relations, the rollups, and then put that into the new one that I just built and put into their Notion. And it just, dude, what I want to say is like, hey, just keep paying me for the next month or two. Promise it'll be worth it. Everything will be done. Promise it'll be sick. All right, deal. Also keep paying me after that though. It just doesn't work, you know. But as long as I'm doing this though, I don't have to go get a job, which is cool. And truthfully, I've come to terms with the fact that, you know, if I have to, it's I guess I just have to, and I'll handle that when I get there. But I think I'll always be with Mina, so that's cool. I think part of me feels like, and I hope I'm not wrong, part of me feels like Trey just wanted them to lower the expenses down for him from 20 hours to 10 hours and to just keep me on the team to just solve shit and fix stuff, which at, you know, $12.80 a month, it's not a bad gig for me. So part of me feels like I'm more safe with Trey than I am with Dawson. And when I say safe, not like they're going to fire me, but like Dawson told me today, like the business is hurting. And he says it's mainly due to the amount of North American employees that he has, which he, you know, I guess he's just paying more. I actually know the amounts, but I'm not going to disclose that. It's kind of dick to do, to be honest. But that's what he said. And I'm like, oh shit, well, I'm part of the North American employees. I mean, like, to be fair, a lot of people are. It's not just me. But I was like, oh shit, dude, I don't want you to let me go because things aren't getting done, you know. Yeah, I told him because he wanted the automations and he wants the churn, the retention, and the growth, net growth, active clients, inactive clients, new clients, clients that pieced out, blah, blah, blah. And he wants all that. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I got you. That's just, it's going to take a minute because other things have to come before that. Otherwise, it's going to be a pain in the ass later. And it's fine if they don't understand. I don't expect them to. But for me, it's just like, selfishly, it's like, this doesn't fit the agenda, my boy. We're going to have to revisit your desires here. But anyway, it's 9:48. I feel pretty good that I am now about to finish up this show. I honestly don't want to write about it or upload that shit tonight. I think I just want to record this and go to bed. Is there anything else I want to say? Oh, we did hit 8,500 downloads total the other day, which is cool. I think that's been the most steady number ever since I started. So 8,500 streams. So let's do some math real quick. That's almost 10 streams a day. It's more than 10 streams a day. Is that 12 streams a day? So actually that would be 13.2 streams a day. So we'll go 85, I think we're at 63, divided by 689. 12.4. Damn it, I was kind of close. I said 13.2, the answer was 12.4. Fuck. So I've averaged 12.4 listens per episode since day one of this show. That's the average. Now, that I would say that's what the average is now today, because if I look at the metrics right now, the last 10 episodes have max 7. So I don't know, something's going on. But when I first started, obviously the first 100 episodes, I forget about this. First 100 episodes I didn't tell anybody about. I only said a word when I recorded the 100th one because I was just, I don't know, I was just nervous of what people would say or think, or I didn't want anybody to be like, oh, he's starting a show. I wanted it to be like, oh, he uploaded 100? That was kind of the idea. Dude, I totally forgot about all of that. Yeah, the first 100 episodes are definitely something to look back on. Very glad I have documented all this. But anyway, first 100, I didn't have a single listen, obviously. I think the first 100 actually did have like 3. I don't know how, but I had 3. And then after that, maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. But it's been very steady. I haven't had any I'm not seeing a slope or like a skateboard ramp. I'm just seeing a line that just happens to be going up. Not because I'm increasing the listens per day, but because it's just cumulative. I started with 0 and I'm 8,500 in almost 2 years. Damn, that's crazy. We're coming up on 2 years. Holy fuck. Wow, it just dawned on me that the show turns 2 years old next month. Holy I didn't even think about that. Yeah, episode 730 is going to be... That's crazy. Episode 730 is going to be start of year 3 for this show. We're going to conclude year 2 here in about a month. That's crazy, dude. Doing this shit every single day for almost 2 years. It's nuts. So we hit that mark. We just hit $23,000 in revenue from everybody that I'm working for, dating back to December 20th of last year. What else is there? Any little updates? We are clear to move into our place in 1 week from tomorrow. I don't think we will. I think we're going to wait till closer to the end of the month. I'm definitely going to start moving shit in. I'm so giddy about this. I'm so pumped. I can't wait. What else? Missed this is so funny, dude. Missed the wedding. I missed it. I thought it was today. I'm on the phone with Lexi yesterday, and she's like, hey, how did you go to that wedding? And I'm like, oh, it's tomorrow. In my head, it was yesterday. It was tomorrow, meaning today, like right now. Because in my head, it was like, oh, it's the same day as her marathon. That's why I didn't go to California. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, no way, that's not right. I know that's not the same day. It's the day before. And then I'm like, wait, that would be today. This is us on the phone in my, me in my head. And she's like, I'm pretty sure it was today. And I'm like, what? No. And I was doing that no, it's not. I'd fucking be there. And so she's like, I'm pretty sure it was. And I was like, I'm going to go check. Because I got the invitation on my fridge. Come down here, look at the fridge. Sure as shit, dude. September 6th, 4 o'clock. Today is September 7th. And it's almost 10 o'clock. And I just came down and I looked at that invitation and I just went, holy fuck. Well, I hope he gets divorced so I can, make it up to him on the next one. And then Lexi laughed. That was funny, whatever. Obviously, I don't wish that. But, I have an episode called The Dark Side of the Golden Rule. Might be a good one to listen to, considering the fact that I just didn't go to a wedding. But if I didn't go to somebody's wedding, but I don't care if they come to mine, I think that's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to be honest. That's the dark side of the golden rule. Now, Grant's my boy. I'm kind of bummed that I missed this, and hopefully he doesn't hate me. But truthfully speaking, if we're just putting it out there, I want to elope. Lexi doesn't, so bummer. But it's another way of saying if somebody invites me to their wedding and I don't go, I think it's fair to say that I don't want them at mine, kind of thing. Or the expectation is there, I'm not going to invite someone to my wedding if, what am I trying to say? If somebody invites me to their wedding or their birthday or their event or whatever, the golden rule states that do unto others as you wish they would do unto you, or treat others how you want to be treated. But the first one I think pertains more to life, not just treatment. But if I don't invite you to my birthday, I don't want you to invite me to yours. Do unto others as you wish they would do unto you. Don't invite me to your shit because I'm not going to invite you to my shit. I don't know. It's just, go listen to the episode. It's the dark side of the golden rule. That's what it's called. If there's any episode that I've referred to more, it would probably be that one. Or probably the FedEx bullshit. I learned a lot from that. But anyway, what else is there? Yeah, so I fucking missed the wedding. That's so funny to me. Now it's just hilarious. Like, how did I miss a fucking wedding, dude? It's a good thing I wasn't the best man at that one, huh? Or groomsman. Bryson, where are you at? I'm at home. Why? You're supposed to be at the wedding. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, dude. No problem. It's so funny, dude. Okay, what else? I'm just packing shit up. My iPad has been very, very cool. I want to report on that really quick. I just have this app called Good Notes. I might switch to something else because it's limited. It's not an infinite whiteboard, but I did make the page or the template as big as it would go. And it is huge, but it's not infinite, and I want it to be infinite. But I have put every single note, anything that I need to write down, I've just organized it. And it is, for one, it's visually appealing to look at. I feel like I'm retaining more of what I'm writing down when I look at it. And also, it's nice because I'm writing and I'm using, quote, paper and pen as opposed to typing it on a document that I then have to go open up and have opened or whatever, like only on Google Docs or something. And with Good Notes, I can have it on my phone, can have it on my computer, on my iPad, whatever. I mean, I guess you can do that with Google Docs and I know. But having it open and having it, like the thought that I'm writing on pen and paper, but that pen and paper comes with me everywhere, and it's also on my computer screen, and also it updates live. Now there's something about that for me that just scratches the itch. So I'm sitting there taking notes, writing out my thoughts of how to make something work in Notion, and I just write it out, and then when I get to the answer that I want, it's boom, it's there. And then all of a sudden, the paper and pen is just, it's on the computer, and I can move that around. I can add stuff to it. I can draw a circle around it. I can whatever. It's fucking sick and very cool. And here's another thing that I've talked about before, and it's very simple, but it's just taking advice from other people and just knowing if that applies to you or not. Like Mina, I said, hey, did you have an iPad? He said, no, I think those are bad investments, dude. Like you don't even. I was like, oh, dude, it's a fucking game changer for me. I love it. Blah blah blah. But if I would have not had any knowledge of the writing feature and shit like that, and then he would have said, oh, bad investments, maybe I would have been like, oh, damn, okay. And then I wouldn't have gotten one, So I think I don't know. I don't know what the lesson there is, but just take everything that you hear with a grain of salt and really try to put it through the filter of you to see if it even applies. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else I have. Lexi ran her half marathon today, so congrats. If you have her number, you know her on Instagram, or if you know her or you have her on whatever, go say congrats because she did it, and I'm very proud of her. And Lexi, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. I know that this was not a PR race for you. It was more of a support family and do something with your mom. But I'm proud of you and I love you. And also, Kristen, I know you're not listening. You probably hear a couple bad words and say, oh, not the man for my daughter. Just playing. But yeah, congrats. And yeah, and that was today, this morning. So I think that's it. So congrats, Lexi. 8,500 listens. Oh, I guess we're doing all the updates here. I think I've made $2.50 or something like that, maybe $2.30 from ads on the show. So we are moving right along. I think I might hit $20 this year. Not this calendar year, but the full rolling year. I think I might hit $20, dude. But I don't even know if I'm going to cash that check. They're going to send me a check for $20 from ads, my podcast that has a retention rate of maybe 2%. And those 2% would be Shawnee and Lexi. That's so funny, dude. That's a funny stat. I recorded almost 2 years straight worth of a podcast, made $2 doing it. That's funny. That's some cool shit that I'm going to talk about later in life, Okay, I'm done. I'm ending the show. Thank you guys for listening. Peace out.